Hello. Well, we've been talking intensely the last 45 minutes, and we weren't going to record because we just wanted to hang out and really touch base since we've all done blunt over intent, and we were just checking in with each other. But then it got intense, and a lot of questions arose. We're really just trying to keep it simple because Quasi has explained this in many, many videos, and we've sent links and all different kinds of different posts explaining the same thing over and over. So once again, Quasi's going to go back to the beginning and just kind of explain it simply before he elaborates on more with videos he's been doing with, I think, Flat Earth After Party. So Daniel and Quasi are with me today. Hello.
Hi Jaden. Hi Quasi. What's up?
All right, so what happened was it was 2.5 years ago. I got the idea after sun gazing for a couple of weeks to write on a piece of paper some specific words, which were, I intend to worship all and exclude none, which I actually took my pen onto a piece of paper and I wrote out the words, I intend to worship all and exclude none on paper, on video. And I wrote, I intend to usher in heaven and earth. And I pricked my finger and I put my blood onto the paper and then I published the video to my channel. At the time, I was a round earther, okay? I thought we were an accident floating through space. And shortly after, about 90 days after, I realized that the Earth is actually flat. And it started with them telling us that the universe is actually flat because it's a hologram. And I have an example here. Let me just see where I put that piece of paper. I just had it here a second ago. Oh, here it is. Okay, so they say we're living in a hologram, and holograms are flat. You see how you look like you could dive into that hologram? But really, it's flat as a sheet of paper. So they tell you that the universe is flat. So that's where I started on the flat Earth, and then I started to realize other stuff. Like, for example, you put a motorboard on your head when you graduate school, showing you the flat Earth plane that you're living on. And what I'm telling you is that if the Earth was spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, and you weighed 150 pounds over here at the equator, as you moved up to the pole, you'd weigh 750,000 pounds because of the no more spin, less spin as you go up the globe. There would be less of a spin, less of centrifugal force, and nothing. The point I'm trying to make is that nothing works on a globe. And shortly after I started decoding all the symbols, like for example, you think this is some sort of satanic symbol, but it's telling you as above, so below. It's showing you the candy cane where Jesus the Son places his light into the hole. And what I'm telling you is that I started to decode everything, and I realized that we're on a flat Earth plane, and that it's one side of a light hole is a black hole. So when you see the sun above your head, that's one side of a coin. It's one coin with two sides, for example. They say that we would be trapped on this division symbol right over here. So when you see that, when you hear the words Jesus, that would be the sun above your head, and Satan is the sun beneath your feet. You would be on this flat Earth checkerboard right over here, and there's a hole at the center of the dish. When you see cops eating donuts, you know, in the UK, the cops wear the checkerboards on their head, just like when you graduate from school, you put the motorboard on your head. They're showing you that it's a flat Earth plane and that there's a hole at the center of the dish, and every single compass is pointing to it. And what's happening is, Jesus the Son, you see the candy canes are showing you that the sun, if you ever see a black hole, if you type into your computer, Google black hole and hit enter, and you hit the images button, you'll see pictures of black holes. They'll show you like a black hole with no light being able to shine through, and then other ones, they show you a disc with the sun being eaten and a candy cane, and then out from that disc comes this jet, an ash trailing jet. So this astral light, all this stuff. Why do you walk into a church and do you see stained glass windows and stuff? It's why do you blow out candles, close your eyes and make a wish? It's because the sun above your head is what's making your flesh and your bones and your blood. And now that you're here, if you want to bring something into reality, that's coming through the black sun. The black sun is, well, they say that the deepest that they can dig is 8 miles down or 12 miles down. They can't go any deeper because that's the other side. You would start on the other side where they show you in like Pirates of the Caribbean. They went into the vortex and then they popped in upside down, and that other place underneath us is the land of perpetual twilight. So if you look up the electric universe model, and they tell you Saturn was the primary sun that was stationary in the sky right over there with the land of perpetual twilight, nothing's changed. What's changed is that before you were under that flat line, and now you're on top of it. And we need to get to the center of the dish over here where the sun places this light into the hole. This would be the Holy Grail at the center of the dish, where the aurora borealis begins. At the 65th parallel, there's a time of the year where the sun spirals into the center of the dish and then spirals back out, bringing the seasons. And there's, if you look online, on YouTube, you can see at the 65th parallel, there's cameras that follow the sun around for 3 whole days straight, round and round and round and round, while it spirals in. Now, every compass is pointing to the center of the dish. It's showing you on this one the tree of life, and it says S-E-E. See the tree of life that's shooting out, and you see this one is the candy cane. Now, it's pointing to where Jesus the Son places his light into the hole, and out from that hole comes this green astral jet. So what I want to get across here is that the sun beneath us is stationary and fixed so that the light can shoot out of the holy hole, which is the Holy of Holies at the center of the dish. So, bear with me for a second. I had mentioned in a previous video, you can find it on Flat Earth After Party by typing in Flat Earth After Party and hitting enter, and then going to their channel, hitting the videos button and scrolling down, you'll see Quasi-Luminous Presents. And I'm explaining in this video that you see Shiva, and Shiva's inside of either a pear that's upside down, pointing to the way out at the center of the dish, or he's in a flaming asshole. Now, the reason it's an asshole is because one side of a light hole is a black hole, makes this Vesca Pisces. But at the center of the dish, it's not a Vesca Pisces, it's a round hole called the Holy of Holies. If you read up on this hole, you'll see that it's breathing the rivers, the 4 rivers, bringing the tides. That it's pushing in and sucking in and out the waters, bringing the tides. It's not actually the moon, okay? They say it's the magnetic mountain or something like this, which is the pulsating astral jet. So, bear with me for a second. When I see this symbol, you're thinking Satan and Jesus, whatever, all this crazy shit. And what I'm telling you is that if you look closer, you'll see the exclamation point. They say you're made out of clay. If you want to get to the land, to the living waters and live forever, or get out of this matrix, they're showing you, you need to get to the hole at the center of the dish. Life preserver. You want to get everlasting life, right? Everybody wants everlasting life. You want to preserve your life, you need to get to the center of the dish. You put a wreath on your door at Christmas, and you also set up one at a funeral. That's the only 2 times you see a wreath. And what that's telling you is you need to get to this holy hole before you're dead and drink from the living waters. That water is going to be found in the land of perpetual twilight, which is right beneath our feet. Scientists will tell you they can only dig down 8 or 12 miles, whatever, and the bits break, and they can't go any deeper than 8 miles or 12 miles, whatever it is. The point I'm trying to make is that they can't go any deeper because on the other side of that begins the underworld, which is not actually a bad place. That's the land of perpetual twilight. When they say there was the golden era, that's because we were inside the earth, or the other side of this. Okay, so here I put this together as an example. You see, we would have been like this, and we were taken out from the and brought upside down. We're on the upside down. We're on the wrong side of the fence. We need to get into that hole at the center of the dish and get back to the right side of the fence. That's where we find Hyperborea, and that's the place where people beam out of this world and go into other places, like above the waters, where they say your 3-dimensional living body is asleep right now above the waters, and they show you in movies that you're wearing a suit and you're sleeping like this, and your consciousness has been stripped of your body and is now trapped inside this computer, where they tell you it's 1 electron balanced by a positron. Time going in one direction, time going the other direction. It's one side of a light hole is a black hole. We would be on the E-creation disk, or CD, here in the center. And what's happening is that the sun, you see candy canes, the The sun is placing its light into the Holy of Holies, and out from that hole comes the green astral jet, or the tree of life. And the tree of life is telling you, like life preserver, you need to get the tree of life at the center of the dish. Okay? Now, every compass points to it. It's simple. Another key thing that I think you should understand is that you go into a church, you say Amen. It doesn't matter what religion, you say Amen. It's from Amen Ra. The sun above your head is Ra. The sun beneath your feet is Amen. But it's one sun. It's one side of a light hole is a black hole. That's why it's as above, so below. It's the same exact sun. As within, so without. Now, I have pointed out in a previous video that your vowels are A, E, I, O, U. And sometimes Y, we sing that song in America. A, E, I, O, U, right? You know that song, right? And sometimes Y. All right, so you see the E is bent to the left. So if you take your E and bend it to the left, and you add the Y, then it says way. And then you have the I, which is also the exclamation point, telling you exclamation, pointing to the center of the dish. And then OU, the reason I put the T there, because if you go back the other way, it's TUV. TUV, meaning like the vagina hole, okay, where we need to get to. And the O, meaning the Holy of Holies at the center of the dish. So the V, meaning the divine feminine, which is the black hole underneath our feet, that we need to get back to. And this is the same story being rubbed in your face over and over and over again. You go into church, you take communion, that white disc. So the sun is a disc. One side of that disc is a black hole. It's a disc. That's why they give you a disc. You put a disc on your tongue when you go into communion, because they're telling you that the sun is a hole. One side of a hole, this hole is a black hole. It's on loop. So when you see candy canes, and if you take a candy cane and you try and figure it into a figure 8, you'll end up with a question mark. And if you start up with a question mark and figure it into a figure 8, you'll end up with a candy cane. So when you see in Egypt, you see all these statues holding candy canes and ankhs, it's all the same story over and over and over again. They're showing you that it's one side of a black hole is a black hole. That you were birthed into this world, you will be birthed out of this world also. So I think one of the most important things I think we should clear up is this. That Satan is not this evil character that you've been told. Satan is a black sun, and the sun is conscious. It's what's bringing your intent to fruition. And that's why they made you fear and think all these horrible things about it, so that you would never be able to access this hidden power that you have, your ability to manifest stuff. Like an example, I want to manifest heaven on earth, and I want to bring all my people to the fountain of youth, and, you know, I put it on paper, and I spilled my blood on it, and shortly after that, I got the eyes to see the truth. And that's coming from the black sun. So I speak my intent into the sun. What that means is that no matter what, I always get my eyes on the sun and I speak my intent. I intend to bring forth heaven on earth. I intend to worship all and exclude none. I appreciate you. Okay? I make sure that I say that into the sun every single day. Now, you think, oh, that's sun worship. Oh, no, no, no. Well, it's kind of funny because Jesus turns out to be the sun, and the sun above your head is conscious. So you're thinking in your head something like, I'm crazy, but it turns out you're the fucking Polish one. You can't see shit until we spell it out for you. It's kind of funny. You know, it's crazy. I mean, they want you to go get reborn again and be like a baby and shit. And what's kind of funny is that your entire Bible, like the Bible says, Satan set himself above God, right? All right? So here you are on a round earth. Every time the sun goes around, you say it's, for example, daytime here, and now you dig to China, and when you get there, it's nighttime, you'll say the sun is beneath your feet. So you would be setting God the sun beneath your feet. You would be Satan just believing that you're on around earth, okay? Now, they tell you that the curvature is 9,999 feet. Or no, it's 6,666 feet for 100 miles. So as this fictitional ball would be spinning, every 100 miles, 1/3 of the Earth that are round earthers are setting themselves up above God just by believing that the earth is round, because the sun, while they're over here, they're telling you that God the sun is beneath their feet, being over here, and they're standing on the globe. You understand me? I know this is hard to understand, because if you've never seen one of these videos, this is what you need to understand. Every compass is pointing to the tree of life. At the tree of life, there's a hole called the Holy of Holies. So next time you see a cop eating a donut, you see he's got the checkerboard head on. When you see somebody graduating from school, they have this mortarboard hat on, showing you that you are one satanic motherfucker, and you can't see it. You put on your black robe with your limp dick hanging off it, saying that you're bent and confused, because you know if you fill out a thing that says, like a singles thing, you'll say you're either straight or you're gay, right? So your thing hanging off your head is coming off from the center, and it's bent 90 degrees, telling you that you're not straight, that you're bent and confused. And it's got a ball hanging off. And then you go to, watch this, you go to the polls to cast your ball it, okay? And then you go read your Bible. You know who Baal is? Baal is that Satan thing. You know why Baal has 2 A's in it? Because it's one side of a light hole is a black hole. It's a division symbol, and the sun is conscious. So when you hear the Holy Spirit, that's that black dot right there. When you hear Jesus, that's the red dot above your head. And when you hear the Father in heaven, that's the computer up there that's control of the 4-faced, 4-letter God in charge of your 4-letter DNA. So your blood is very, very powerful. They say in a Bible somewhere that God, I think it's in the first 90 pages of a Bible I was reading, that it said God owns your blood. Okay? It's the 4-faced, 4-letter God in charge of your 4-letter DNA. That's above the waters. We would be inside of a computer simulation right now. They told you that the universe is flat, that it's a computer simulation, that you're in a hologram. Okay? Now, the way out of this hologram, they're showing you that there's a Holy of Holies at the center of the dish. This is the key thing that you got to understand. You were birthed into this world. You were birthed out. You have to get to the center of the dish. Your life preserver, your wreath. Remember, you only see a wreath at your funeral, and on Christmas you put it on a door. It's telling you the center of the dish is your doorway out. It's the same story literally over and over and over and over and over again. There's no way to mess it up. Now, another thing was Adam turns out to be the grid, the chessboard. And a rib was broken off of Adam and was put up into the sky to make the moon. And they show you, if you look online, you'll see that somebody's exposed that the moon is see-through. If you take pictures of the moon and you zoom in, you can see the stars behind the moon. That's because it's only a rib of the Earth that was placed up there, and it's sending down a square wave at us, okay, which keeps everybody half-brained, and they can't see what's hiding in plain sight. For example, Santa comes down to shit shoot into fire, and you want cookies and milk left out for him, and somehow people don't see that this is all satanic shit, that it's Santa, not Santer, that it's like Godzilla, not Godzilla. It's like a feminine principle here, and they're showing you the same story over and over and over again. You set up your Christmas tree on an X, which is the female chromosome. The choo-choo train is showing you that the engine of creation that causes the whole creation is the black sun beneath your feet. That's why you close your eyes and make a wish on your birthday, and you blow out the candle. You're blowing out the sunlight and focusing your intent onto the black sun. That's why you walk into a church and you see the tinted windows, because they're blocking out the sun and focusing all your intent onto Satan. You walk into a church and you make the upside down cross. You kneel down to the feminine and you place holy water, feminine water on your head. You're birthed out of your mother's waters. Okay? It's everything that you think you know to be true is the reverse of truth. And I'm just going to go a little deeper here. Like, watch this. You say, I don't worship Satan. Listen, every word you speak is a magic spell. You learned spelling or spell casting in school, and you took your test with your number 2 shit pencil. Everybody knows number 1 is pee-pee, number 2 is shit. And you know it's a yellow pencil, like the sun above your head. And you know it's a dung beetle for a reason, because it's the astral jet coming out of the hole at the center of the dish. That the only reason that this whole thing works is because the sun places its light into the hole. So we have Amen and Ra, the 2 basic pieces of this that you're in. It's the division symbol. There's an entrance to the land below at the center of the dish. And you know every game and every movie is Checker 6, Rainbow 6, Deep 6. Everything is this 666 showing you, you know, you're going down. Everything is you're going down. Everything is showing you it's being rubbed in your face on so much shit. You go to get a gumball with your children at the mall and you see that spiraling. It's the same story. So when you see this star with the horns up, that's the feminine principle. That's the divine mother that brings all of your intent into fruition. You're calling it Satan. And you've labeled it to be evil. But then you're going to a church and say Amen from Amen Ra. And you have your Bible, which is the two bowls. Bible meaning two bowls. So somebody pointed out to me that it's the two bowls as in like salad bowls. So this would be like one like this underneath us with the black sun. In perpetual twilight, it's fixed so it can send the light through the hole at the center of the dish, which comes out, hits the parabolic mirror, and showers down on us. So Behemoth is the parabolic mirror, and Leviathan is the bottom half, which is holding the black sun. So we have Behemoth, which would be the top bowl, and Leviathan would be the bottom bowl. And you see the Mayan thing, it marks the spot. It's the same, literally the same story over and over and over again. Just because you can't see it, not yet, but you will. If you follow these two lines across, it makes an X. You understand me? They're showing you the same story literally over and over and over again. There's really no way to mess it up. So let's see here. The flood began when a rib was taken off the earth, placed up in the sky, and sending down a square wave. There's a blanket over the earth right now that keeps everybody half-brained. The flood is still there. The ark is you going into the hole. Arcing into the hole at the center of the dish to get to the land of perpetual twilight where there is where's the everlasting life where you're way out of here. So this is all simple shit. You know, you see the slinky, a slinky, and you see this symbol over and over and over again that they're rubbing in your face. It's the same story. One side of a light hole is a black hole. So when you see, like, Lilith, they say Lilith wouldn't conform to Adam. That's the black sun. One side of a light hole is a black hole. And Adam is the grid. Eve is a rib of the earth, which was taken off and is placed up in the sky. It's sending down a square wave. So another thing is when I see Polaris, you see this? This would be like the place that's over the hole at the center of the dish. Polaris. So when I think of Polaris, I think of like a stripper pole and feminine, like an heiress, a female. So what I believe is like strippers are spinning around on poles. It's the same story literally over and over and over again. Your Christmas tree has the lights going round and round and round, showing you Ra, the sun going round and round and round, moving inward and outward, bringing the seasons. So the X is a swastika. So you set up your Christmas tree with your swastika every year because you spiral your lights around it, showing you that just because you don't see the symbols are still there. Like when you see a cross, I see an unfolded cube. That's when they went from a flat earth to a round earth. That's when they opened up the cube. So before then, the cross was actually a cube, like the Mecca, like you had on your head, and like the Jews put on their forehead, called the tefillin, and on their arm. It's like the police wear the cube, the checkerboard on their arm and on their head. It's the same story over and over and over again. So, again, I know people, like Daniel said, people have questions about specific stuff, but I think what you need to focus on is the prize. Like, for example, we need to get to the center of the dish for everlasting life. Until you're there, you never left Egypt. And Egypt stands for everyone gypped. And when you go to your church, the church stands for to your children. Okay? And go spells. You have your gospels, that's go spells right there. Every word you speak is a magic spell. And it said you put on a black satanic robe when you graduate school and you have your angle or degree, showing you that you're bent and confused. So you say, what's your angle? What's your degree that you're bent? So anytime you see somebody with a square or a thing hanging off, like for example, you'll say, he's a 33rd degree Mason and he's got this thing on, they're laughing because you're clearly saying that you're bent and confused, because you know if you fill out an ad that you're single, you say you're single and you're straight. Okay, you're either straight or you're bent, and that's what they're telling you, that you're bent and confused. Okay, so the whole thing that's going on here It's got a homosexual undertone for a reason. That's because Jesus the Son, they show you the candy canes, has to place his light into the hole. And if that doesn't happen, then there's no green astral light coming out of the hole. So when you see on Egyptian statues or whatever this question mark, you'll see another picture. It's like a stick with rays of light coming off. And in any case, the moral of the story here is that you put X's and O's, you see commercials X out on TV. It's being rubbed in your face 24/7, nonstop. How you don't see it makes no sense to me. It's literally on everything. That's telling you, get to the center of the dish to get out of here. So,
you saying that it's being rubbed in people's faces every day? I just made a video yesterday and somehow ended up on the two deities just plain as day in the Bible. And when you see Lord mentioned, that's that sacrificial Lord. And it's mentioned in 4:1 in Genesis. And Lord also in the Strong Concordance Hebrew, if you click on Lord, it means Baal or B-A-A-L, which you're mentioning, and everything else. So I don't understand how people can't see so clearly just the two deities mentioned in the Bible, but I just made a video about that yesterday. So
it's one thing. In the end, it turns out to be one side of a light hole is a black hole. So Jesus and Satan would be the same sun.
They're the same sun.
One sun is making your flesh and your bones and your blood, and the other one, now that you're here, is bringing your intentions into fruition. You say, I want to grow my hair long. I want to get that job. I want to bring forth heaven and earth. This infinite potential is the astral jet. That's what comes out of the hole. Ra, the sun, places his light into the hole. That's the candy cane, and then out from the hole comes the astral jet. The reason it's called the astral jet is because they're considering the Holy of Holies an asshole, like a sphincter that's breathing, and it's clenching up every 6 hours, bringing the tides. And you've heard of black sheep and the underdog and stuff like that. They rub it in your face. The sun above your head amounts to one sphere, and the sun beneath your feet amounts to the other. We would be in the football here in the center. So when they say the president carries the football with all the launch codes and stuff, they're telling you that, to blow up the world, it's a football, because not because they pass it to us, but it's because the creation is shaped as a football, or like a vagina. It's the cosmic womb. It's
cosmic egg, yeah.
It's the same thing, the V8. See? The Vesca Pisces with the vagina, the V standing for vagina, and then the figure 8. Okay? That's one side of a light hole. Here's your figure 8 right over here. You have your candy cane, and your question mark makes up your figure 8. Okay? And the bottom half of the figure 8 is larger, so you can see that it all fits in perfectly. So every compass is pointing. Compass is your cum, C-U-M, and then P pointing down, and then ass. So it's like the astral. Your compass is pointing to the Holy of Holies at the center of the dish. It's very simple stuff. So they say you need to, don't flip out. Don't flip out. Flip out is telling you to flip out, to get out of where you are. You need to go into that hole before you're dead. You need to get there before you're dead, because if you don't, there's going to be these things coming around to eat you. Like they show you the spirit rover, the Pac-Man, all these things that want to come and eat your soul. And you'll be stuck to like a house. You wouldn't be able to go out for long, because... So it's like a checkerboard like this with a hole at the center of the dish called the Holy of Holies. That's the way out. Every compass points to it. It's very simple. When I hear Admiral Richard Byrd, Richard is Dick. I have an Uncle Dick. His name is Richard, right? And a bird, like pecks. A bird does what? Peck, 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 peck.
Pecker.
Opens up his mouth and regurgitates the food for the chicks to stick the thing into the mouth, right? So they're telling you this homosexual undertone, it's all a fucking joke. How could anybody miss this? So when I hear Richard E. Byrd, they're talking Dick everybody, because E stands for...
Everybody.
Everybody, right? So...
Yeah.
And you hear your Vision Works. This is the logo on Vision Works right there. You turn it to the side, and that's Pac-Man eating a soul. You see I Ams, that's dog, like God, right? I Ams. You see the I Ams dog food?
Yeah.
Well, they're showing you. They're making a joke. That's like the dog-eat-dog world.
I am, yeah.
One side of a light hole is a black hole. The sun has to eat itself. This cannibal action, we're trapped in this. So here, you lose your train of thought. You have a train going around the bottom of a Christmas tree, showing you that all your stuff is coming from Satan, the black sun beneath your feet. You put X's and O's on I love you, X's and O's. Do you not? That's the bottom of your Christmas tree. That's the X's and O's. It's all the same story. There's no way to fuck it up. It's the X's and O's on everything. It's literally, it's your wreath that you put up on your birthday, I'm sorry, at your funeral or on Christmas on the door. You follow those 2 lines through, it makes an X. X marks the spot. So X is a kiss, right? That's like the suck. But we know a vagina is like this, and a starfish is a puckered asshole. So,
Yeah.
Again, it's the same story over and over and over again. And X marks the spot, but X is wrong answer at school because a vagina is what you need to make a baby through, is a vagina. Where X is wrong answer because that's a puckered asshole. So you have to check, which is, I showed another, it's the check. It's like, see this right here? That's a check mark, okay? The candy cane. This is a symbol. You see, like, tarot cards it's like the Torah. See the Torah right there? Star in reverse is rats. So when you see rats, they're talking about, like you see the commercial with the Kia Soul. It's a square. It's the soul. It's the rats. They're telling you the same shit. That the sun, the soul, is the star. Star in reverse is rats. So, so listen. The key thing that you need to understand is the whole transaction works like this. The sun goes round and round and round, moving inward and outward, spiraling in and spiraling out. It's real simple. So it's spiraling in and spiraling out, bringing the seasons. When it gets all the way into the center, your compass that says north is attracted to the south because opposite poles attract. Okay, so when you see South Park, they're talking about the asshole. Astrolite meaning the asshole. The rear admiral because it's talking about the ass. Okay? And it's the same story literally over and over and over. But it's the rear admiral because he's guarding the asshole. Your way out of here at the center of the dish where every compass points to. They're showing you every symbol over and over and over. X marks the spot at the center of the dish. The only reason people can't see it because they think they're on a ball floating through space as an accident when you're not.
Well, I don't understand that because you already mentioned you can only go down so far. You can only dig so far deep, and you can't get up so far because it's the Van Allen belt. You can't even get to the moon.
Yeah, but look what Van Allen belt is. All in belt. They're telling you that everybody's in. The van is the vagina all in belt. Van Allen is the all in belt. Van is the V all in belt. You see it? It's a dome up there. Mm-hmm. So the belt is really it's
yeah.
It's this whole dome. We're inside of that. So when they show you Shiva inside of an upside down pear, they're showing you the way out, down through the center of the dish. So Shiva is only shown in 2 different types of symbols. He's inside of a flaming asshole in one. He's inside of an upside down pear in another, showing you the way out. It's the Holy of Holies at the center of the dish. Yeah. It's the division symbol. There's no way to mess this up. So when you see this symbol over here, you notice how 1 thumb's in and 1 thumb's out? It's as above, so below, as within, so without. The light hole is being eaten by the black hole, and that causes the green astral light to come out. You see he's got a star, a yellow shirt, and a star on his shirt? Right there?
Yeah.
It's inescapable. You'll see all your cartoons, always one of the characters or all the TV shows, the young kids always have a star. And we know star in reverse is rats. Okay? So they're telling you that you're the rats. All right? All right, so we have green go. You know, the thumbs up. It's like the green thumb. And we know this is the hitchhike symbol. And we know the captains used to say in the Spanish-American War, they said green go, and that turned out to be gringo. Gringos. Okay? So, all right. So here, you see this. I saw this on the cover of a newspaper. It shows the soccer player in this position with Jesus upside down. Maybe you saw that? The guy was like on the front kicking the ball, and we know the ball has the symbols of Saturn right there. And you see Adidas is it says sad, upside down it says sad eye pa. Like everything's this homosexual undertone. Admiral Byrd, we know that Richard is dick, and a bird, you're in the bird cage. That's a gay movie, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a gay, it's a homosexual movie.
It's the same story over and over. Why is it a gay movie, the bird cage? Because birds peck, like in blowjobs. And
pecker.
You know, the baby birds reach into the mouth and pull out the food, and it's this undertone that they keep rubbing in our faces. So the flood again is the the square wave hitting down. The flood is still happening right now. The arc is going into the hole. That's the arc. We go into the hole, arcing, and we get to the underside, which is perpetual twilight. That's where the land, that's where the living waters is. You drink from any of the water over there, and that's where you go. That's where the fountain of youth is. So every time you see this, they're pointing to the fountain of youth. They're telling you, as within, so without it. When you see Spider-Man with the thing coming out, the web, that's the astral web. You know, it's the same type of story over and over and over again. So when you see a dung beetle, it's because it's the astral light, the black hole, coming out of the asshole. All right? So listen, you know, I see this over here. See the sun is in a doctor's outfit? Okay, what I'm seeing here, again, is like the yellow brick road. We need to get to the center of the dish where every compass points to. So the yellow brick road, every compass is showing you the yellow brick road. Doesn't matter where you are, your compass is showing you your yellow brick road where Jesus the Son places his light into the hole. That's...
Yeah, hold on.
It's pretty simple.
I still hear Quasi. Jada, do you hear us? I hear you, Jada, and I hear Quasi also.
I'm still here.
I still hear Quasi, and I hear Jada. Yeah, I hear you. It still says live, right?
Let's wrap this up then. Let's wrap this up. Jada, you got
okay,
the
Quasi.
right?
Yeah, hold on. Jada's calling me again. Hold on 1 second.
All right.
Okay, let me see. Jada. Jada. Hello. I hear you, and I also hear Quasi. So what's go? You can't hear me? Hold on. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? What's up? Can you hear me? I don't know what happened. Oh my goodness.
Hey, tell her to wrap it up, and we'll pick up tomorrow. So.
Quasi, okay, yeah, I still hear you.
Right. So.
Hello. Yeah, it still says live, so I guess you're still going.
Right. So.
Yeah.
Let's just wrap it up then, because let's just wrap it up. We'll pick up.
Hold on, one second. I'm putting my headphones on. All right. Yeah, it still says live. I guess Jada got cut off. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. So let's just wrap this up then, right? Because.
Yeah. Let's just wrap it up. It says live, so someone's got the cut. Maybe Jada's got the cut. I don't know.
I think I could just hang up and it'll cut off.
Yeah. Bottom line, if anyone doesn't believe this, you cannot go to the North Pole without getting killed. You can't. No one can travel easily to the North Pole.
Right. We need to migrate there. It's got to be like
we need to migrate there. Exactly. No one's allowed there. Bottom line, that's the main question people have to ask themselves. Why aren't we allowed there?
Well, listen, it takes me 5 years pushing the idea. I mean, it's obvious to me. I'm just going to scream it out. It's not going to take me long.
No, we're going to band together.
2 years, I'll woken up enough people.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't worry too much about it. If anything, make some videos pointing out the obvious.
Yeah.
And listen, anybody needs to email me at superlumitv@gmail.com. Just email me direct. I don't mess with comments, all right?
Got you.
Daniel, we can pick up again tomorrow, all right?
You got it, brother. Take it easy, and let's try and save this video.
All right.
All right, take it easy, Quez. Later.